Do you think you feel guilty when saying no because you care so much? Think again, because it's way more complicated than that. Watch this video to find out the real reasons why you feel so guilty. The answers might just surprise you. Hello, darling soul, and welcome. I'm Carolyn, and I help empaths on their soul path of awakening to their true power. If you're an empath who feels everything and wants to help everyone, then I'm sure you know all too well that heavy, overwhelming sense of guilt that seems to be best buddies with boundaries. Say no, feel guilty. Put yourself first, here comes the guilt. Turn away from the sources and the people that drag you down. Guilt, 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 seeping through your veins as you question, am I being cold? Am I being mean? I really don't want to look like I don't care. Yep, boy, do we ever know how familiar that guilt is. But do you know the truth about what that guilt is actually all about? You may think it occurs because you care so much, but it's a little more complicated than that. There are three very important elements underneath that guilt that you must become aware of first in order to move towards setting guilt-free boundaries, where saying no isn't something you avoid, but something you embrace and feel good saying. So let's dive into those three critical aspects you need to be aware of. So here are the three important things that are lurking under all that guilt. Number one, guilt is familiar. When you think about saying no and you think about putting yourself first out of necessity because there's nothing left to give, the reason that you immediately feel guilty is because it's an automatic response. Everything we do is just a pattern. We act in certain predictable ways because that's what we've always done. There's a pattern there. And those actions are driven by patterns of belief, which are driven by patterns of thought. And repeating a pattern, which is a habit, is way easier than trying to form a new pattern. Just think of trying to write with your non-dominant hand. And this is something I actually had to train myself to do because of a shoulder injury. And I can say it's really, really hard. It takes so much focus and determination, and you have to pay attention to every single letter. It's quite excruciating when you compare it to the automatic and completely natural way of writing with your regular hand. You don't even have to think about it. So to shift out of automatically feeling guilty when you say no is going to require your attention, your focus, and your determination. It's going to feel hard at first, but this is exactly how we shift out of unconscious, reactive, powerless ways of being and shift into being more conscious, more intentional, and using our ever-powerful sense of choice in everything we do. Number two, guilt is addictive. Expanding a little deeper on guilt being familiar, it goes even further in that it becomes addictive. Because addiction isn't just about substances and seedy behaviors. We all have addictions to our familiar thoughts and beliefs, which become our familiar habits. And just like I said previously, it's simply easier to keep doing what we are familiar with doing rather than do something different. This change in our patterns is so uncomfortable. And if there's one thing we humans hate in our comfy lives is discomfort. And so addiction is all about numbing discomfort. Feeling guilty, which I'm so used to doing because I've been doing it for decades, feels better, even though it feels terrible, but it actually feels better. It's the lesser of two evils, you could say, than the cringy discomfort that comes with saying no, that comes with seeing yourself as a priority, the discomfort of feeling selfish or like you're a narcissist if you give yourself 1 ounce of attention and consideration. Remember, our society promotes narcissism and making yourself look shiny and successful at the same time that it promotes being selfless and self-deprecating. Shine, but don't shine too bright. It's a lose-lose situation. You gotta win, you gotta climb to the top and do more and have more than anyone else, but put others first and sacrifice and suffer now and do it with a smile as you say yes to everything in order to make everyone else happy. Talk about mixed messages. And number 3, guilt is non-committal. Going back to that discomfort, feeling guilty for saying no means you get both. You get the decisiveness of no, but you get the numbing of feeling guilty. So it keeps you in that wishy-washy, wavering state of neither here nor there. The guilt kind of eases the discomfort of the decision, the discomfort of commitment. Making a choice means you will be cutting off other options. Choosing to stay home one night because you're just too exhausted, but also feeling guilty about possibly letting your friend down, means you will have one foot in both worlds. One indecision, but the guilt keeps you still connected to that night out with your friend. It keeps you connected to the idea of being a perfect friend. Saying to your child you will only read for 15 minutes before bed, but feeling guilty about it, keeps you connected to the idea of being the perfect parent. Making clear choices and setting firm but loving boundaries means you have to let go of the allure of perfectionism. It means you have to really look yourself in the eye and accept that you are not and you will never be perfect. And that is a tough pill to swallow, again, especially in our capitalist, consumerist world that constantly dangles the carrot of perfection in front of our nose. Setting and enforcing your personal boundaries instead of taking the easier road of saying yes to everything, working through the discomfort of that guilt so you can shift and release it, takes focus and effort and courage. And this is why it takes a warrior's heart to do so, and we must circle together to support each other in doing so. I hope this video helped you see the truth about guilt when it comes to setting boundaries, and that there are layers underneath that guilt that must be examined in order to overcome the weight of guilt. If you'd like to learn more about how to set healthy boundaries, then my new program, Beautiful Boundaries, might just be for you. You can click on the link below to check it out. Now, I'd love to know which of the layers I mentioned rings true for you. Please let me know in the comments. I absolutely love hearing from you. And if it's community you're looking for, then be sure to join my Facebook group, the Gentle Warrior Collective, to find support from big-hearted empaths just like you. And as always, if you received any benefit from this video, please show it some love by giving it a like and clicking subscribe so I may continue to create more videos to support you with getting out of your head, back into your heart, and awakening to your true power. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day.